So here we are back. You can see I've done a good bit more on this terrain. I've flattened out all around the edges to make an island, and made a lagoon here in the front. And I've smoothed out some of the things around the lagoon, some of the area. I've left some of the rest of it that bumpy kind of Martian landscape-looking terrain. I've put a volcano in the back, and I did that in a couple of steps using that set terrain height brush, and then coming back and changing the details with the first brush with some of that dotted, stippled brush technique. And this stuff, you know, really the only way to get good at this is to practice and to spend some time and build some things and build some new things, and you can go through and you can create these terrains pretty quickly and save them. And you know how we save the scenes, so we can just save a bunch of them. Okay, so that's enough of that, so let's get started. And first thing we're going to do is look at this here. There's a couple of things I wanted to point out. Right here it says ISO. It's not a perspective view, and we've got pretty good detail. I'm going to click on perspective. And now, as I zoom out here, you can see it does have a reasonable lens perspective view, but we don't get as much detail. The details fall in and out. It's not quite as detailed as it was. So I'm going to go back to this top view, which is going to get us back to that isometric mode. As you can see, as we come in here to a perspective, the back is actually wider, but now we've got all this detail. So I tend to work in this mode just to see the detail well, even though, yes, it's kind of distorted as far as the perspective goes. So that's just a style I like to use when I work, and I'm showing the tools, but obviously my style techniques are going to be embedded in this, and I don't want to spend too much time on that. So you'll over time develop your own style, which might be similar, might not, but in any case, let's move on here. Now we're going to do some more here, but we kind of got to the end of the tools and the materials and whatnot that we have available, so we've got to bring some more things into the project. So come up to the Assets menu here, Import Package. The package we want is Terrain Assets. And there they are. Of course, there's all kinds of them. Let's open this up here a little bit so you can see more. It says terrain grass and cliff layered rock and all kinds of things. So all selected by default. Click Import. And it comes in. It comes in. And there we have a standard assets directory. There's terrain assets and grass and textures and ambient occlusion. But we're not going to use that through the project menu to get to these. We're going to go through the palette. So we're going to come over to the inspector, to this bottom section called Textures, where it says No Terrain Textures Defined. And we're going to change that. So we're going to click on this button called Edit Textures right here and add texture. Click on the little button there at the right, and here are the textures that we've imported. Now some of these make sense for just painting on the ground. Some of them don't. See, this grass too doesn't look right, palm bark, but good dirt does. So we're going to double click on that, and there it is. So now we're going to add it, and watch what happens when I do. Boom. It paints the entire terrain with that. Well, that's fine. We had to get something on there. Let's add another texture. Click the little button, and We're going to add a couple more of these, the cliff layered. And click Add. And now it's down here in our palette. And we could start painting, but let's add more. And click on the little button. And let's add, well, we're going to add this grass rock. And one more. Add texture. A little button. Now we'll add the grass hill. Double click. There it is. And click Add. And there, that's enough. Okay, so now we've got our brush for painting, which is the fourth brush. Grab one of these. We'll grab this rock one. And I'm going to come up here to the volcano and just start painting. And, there's a sharp transition at the bottom. That's okay. Don't worry about that too much. We'll deal with that later. Just paint on it, and then when you get done painting what you can see, then you're going to have to rotate the scene around. So hold down the Alt and left click and drag. Come around to the back of the volcano here. And you might be starting to see like a little plaid pattern on there because of the kind of the Martian bumpiness of the landscape. It might be a little hard to see right at the moment, but we'll zoom in here in a second once we get it painted so that you can see it. We'll take care of that. So come around. And just about it. Again, there's no right or wrong way to this stuff. It's just get her done. So there it is. Now we can edit the textures. And you can see texture size X and Y are both by default 15. We can change those numbers. And you can see there's a little difference there. But I'm going to set this back and zoom in some more. Okay, now you can really see the plaid. Now I'm changing this to 100 and changing Y to 100. And now you can see it's a much larger pattern. Those dots are, lighter dots are less frequent. There's 200 and then 200 in X, and now we've only got a couple dots. It's looking better, but these numbers don't have to be the same. So I'm going to change their X to 300. Click Apply. That's good. Okay, now we've got the volcano a different color. We're not done. We still need to add these other textures. We can paint large areas. We can use some of those dotted brushes and just click once to get transition areas. It takes a while. Again, practice is great. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. We won't worry about the water area down here at the bottom yet. We've got other ways actually to deal with water, so that'll come in a little bit later time. But I'm going to spend some time and put these other textures on here and just kind of smooth them out a little bit. Again, I'm not trying to do this for a finished game that we're going to distribute, but just for a demonstration for the video. So I won't spend that much time. But when we come back on the next video, you'll see what that looks like, and then we'll go from there.